It's not ending well for women. 45% of women by 2030 will be single.
You know what? If a man wants to get with me, he has to be a 100% provider.
Is no one else bothered by the fact that Morgan Stanley predicts that by 2030, 45%...
This is happening because modern women chose the streets instead of building a family.
If we continue like this, in 10-20 years, so many women will be single.
Men are naturally supposed to submit to women, period, point blank.
If he's not actively pursuing you, he's either not capable, and that is not...
The reality is, men don't see the value in pursuing modern women anymore. It's a waste. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
Every time I have troubles with women, my dad comes up to me and he says, "You're working twice as hard as I did for a woman that's 4 times worse than your mother. So what does that tell you?"
Men are having a huge issue this day and age with being completely entitled but having no right to be. Like, they literally do not have a leg to stand on, but they will sit there and act like they are the prize and we should be sitting here begging them for attention. Meanwhile, we have a male loneliness epidemic where women, myself included, are finding that it is much more peaceful, we're even more successful and happier the further away we are from men. Anyway, if you want to go viral, piss off men.
Is no one else bothered by the fact that Morgan Stanley predicts that by 2030, 45% of women aged 25 to 44 are going to be single? Like, I'm over here cooking for one, very much bothered about that. I don't know, like, I'd rather cook for 2 or maybe like 3 potentially in the future, but not just like one person. So I don't know, I really need to be even more intentional about dating now that I've been back in Scottsdale for 2 weeks. For now, it is solo dinners cooking for one.
I mean, it is what it is. And the thing is, this is only getting worse. Many women are celebrating them being single by 2030. But what they don't realize is that things will be worse for them. Even this woman is worried about that. Hence why she's saying now she's dating with the intention of finding a man because she wants a family. She's realizing that time is not on her side. And while many women are still living in denial, she's trying to correct course before it's too late. Right now, it might feel like freedom, independence, and choice. But down the line, reality will hit harder. The attention they once had will fade. The options they once boasted about will shrink. And the lifestyle they thought was empowering will turn into isolation. The so-called flex of being single won't feel the same when loneliness starts creeping in, when there's no partner to build with, and when the consequences of years of temporary fun catch up. By then, the very same women who mocked relationships and celebrated being single will be the ones searching for companionship the most, except it won't be as easy to find anymore.
What would you say the woman's role in a relationship is?
Just being in her soft, feminine side of her so that the man can just do everything, basically.
So what would you say is the man's role in a relationship?
To take care of her, make her feel safe,
to build
make her
stuff.
feel loved,
Yeah.
make her feel like she's the only girl in the world.
Have you guys seen the study that by 2030, 45% of women will be single and childless? I really believe this because the younger generation is looking up to the women that are saying that men ain't shit and it's hot girl summer, and they're looking up to this.
If we continue like this, in 10-20 years, so many women will be single. I will have so much more work, which is good for me, right?
2030, they say.
Yes. And what will happen is that at some point, women will get so frustrated and they will understand that if you want to have a different outcome, you have to change your behavior. You cannot keep on having the same behavior and expecting to have a better outcome, right?
I agree. If they want something different, their behavior needs to change. But that's not the case with modern women. They believe that they're perfectly fine the way they are. Flawless, perfect. They always say it's the man that needs to change so he can fit into whatever she's got going on. That's why many of them will be single, because change is cancerous to them. They see accountability as an attack, correction as disrespect, and compromise as weakness. Instead of asking, what can I bring to a relationship? The mindset is always, what can a man do for me? That's backwards. Men are waking up to this reality, and instead of bending over backwards to please someone who refuses to adjust, they're walking away. What these women don't understand is that refusing to change doesn't make them strong, it makes them stuck. And being stuck in the same patterns of entitlement, arrogance and denial is exactly why so many will continue to struggle in love and relationships.
My peace and sanity is worth more to me than staying with a woman who is toxic, who is doing nothing but adding drama to my life, who doesn't add any value whatsoever to my life, who's disrespecting me, who doesn't treat me with any type of reverence. I would rather be alone for the rest of my fucking life rather than being with this woman. I don't even want to be around the woman who disrespects me because of how annoying they are.
My dad said it seems like young men don't want to get married anymore, and I wanted to ask the internet why that might be. Like, I definitely have ideas of why it might be, but I'd rather hear from real people. It's also interesting that it coincides with that statistic that's been thrown around a lot lately, which is that 40% of women of marriageable age are going to be single by the year 2030. And what's interesting is it's by choice. Like, we're all choosing not to do this anymore. And I know that for a lot of women, myself included, there's a lot of hesitancy because we've been hurt and we're afraid. So I'm curious, what is it from the male perspective? Or do you think all of this is just like a consequence of the culture we live in now with like hookup culture and the internet? I don't know. Let me know what I should tell my dad. Thanks.
Well, of course, young men don't want to be married. From their perspective, they're seeing everything in 4K. Their fathers, family members, and even friends losing everything. They've seen men work themselves to the bone, provide for their families, sacrifice their youth, and still end up divorced, broken, and starting from zero. And on top of that, they're constantly hearing the stories of other men who went through the same thing. So why would a young man rush into marriage when to him it looks like a trap? Many women claim to be single by choice. And yes, maybe a very small percentage of that is true. But the majority are single because they couldn't find the guy they were searching for. They passed up on the men who were interested when they were younger, thinking they could hold out for something better, only to realize later that the options they once had are gone. That's when the single by choice narrative comes in. It's more of a coping mechanism than the truth.
If you're talking to a really fine guy who has a good personality and you're wondering like, how is he single? Like, he's really hot and he has a really good personality. Why is he single? It's one of three things. Number one being he's either crazy as fuck or like weird and you just haven't gotten to it yet. Number two is he's not single. Okay, you just think he's single because he's cheating. And number three, he's newly single and will be taking his ex back expeditiously after y'all fuck. So watch out for that one. You're welcome.
Fast forward to 2024. We have the same thing happening now where pop stars and fashion magazines and influencers are really vehemently pushing this feminist pro-abortion agenda to their young women audiences. After decades and decades of messaging these values, I guess you could call them, it's not ending well for women. 45% of women by 2030 will be single and childless, and 1 in 4 women now are on SSRIs. Those are two statistics that I say a lot because to me, that is just mind-blowing. Most women in the near future are not going to have a husband or a child, which if you just project your life out, that is sad. It's just objectively really, really sad. And that women are on antidepressants at a much higher rate than men are. And also too, now that we've voted and advocated for all of this, not only that, but like women now are potentially going to be drafted to the front lines of a World War III in order to pay off their student loans. So all of that was part of the feminist movement. It's equality. It truly is literally the equal right to become indebted, to get an education that is largely useless, to literally eventually be drafted into the army. Women are the most beautiful, the most innocent, there is something about a woman that you can only get in a woman. And a large part of the war on beauty is the war on women and on the destruction of innocence. All of the most unique, divine, wonderful parts of womanhood are being crushed. They are being crushed and erased and labeled as bad.
It is sad, and I spoke about this a couple months back as well, that a lot of women are on antidepressant pills. And that's because, even though they have all the options and choices in the world, they still aren't happy. They can travel, party, make money, date around, and still at the end of the day, there's an emptiness they can't escape. Having endless freedom isn't the same as having purpose. The issue for what's happening now is feminism, women hating men, and the projection that 45% of women will be single. All of these things connect. Feminism taught women that men are the enemy, that depending on a man is weakness, and that chasing career and independence is the ultimate win. But what has it really produced? Loneliness, broken homes, and women silently struggling behind closed doors, while pretending everything is fine on the outside. When nearly half of women are projected to be single, that's not empowerment. That's a crisis. And the sad part is, many will not admit that the ideology they embraced is what led them there.
Your most attractive friends are single. Yep, here's why.
Yeah. Why is that?
I know you know. I know you're thinking of that one friend, like that one Becky that you're like, she's hot as fuck, but she literally has never had a boyfriend.
There's usually a very good reason for that. But let's hear what their opinion is first.
Yeah, here's why. The boys, the men, the Jimmy, the John, the James are all afraid of getting their ego hurt, okay? Men go for who they can.
That's what they think the reason is? Oh dear.
And women go for who they want. And when you go for someone that you want, not knowing if they want you back, sometimes you get rejected.
Okay.
But because men are so scared of getting their ego hurt, they won't go for someone that they think will say no to them or will reject them.
A lot of women have actually convinced themselves of this.
Because God forbid, Jimmy John Jr. has to get rejected. How is he going to explain that to his friends? He thinks he's Mucho Man.
Just wait.
Girls don't just go for what they can. They have standards, and they don't just go for, the bottom of the barrel, but men settle, and that's the truth.
Now here's the part that a lot of women that think like this are not going to like hearing. But a lot of men will not approach very attractive women because oftentimes their personalities do not match their looks. And most men would rather date and be with a woman that treats them well and is kind to them and is a good person rather than just attractive. They'll date them for a good time, but not for a long time.
Men are naturally supposed to submit to women, period, point blank. Men like hierarchy. That's why they're in the military. That's why they like boy groups, etc., etc. Okay? If you're not his boss, he assumes the boss position. That cannot be. That means you need to tap into your dark feminine. How do you tap into your dark feminine? You know damn well that you're the boss and nobody's above you ever under any circumstance. A man has come out of a woman and will always want to go back inside a woman. So you're always in charge, meaning that he always submits to you. He follows your lead if he wants back in. Do you understand? You can end lineages. That's your power. So fucking sit in it and stop fucking pretending that you're a little girl who doesn't have it. I'm tired of your shit. I'm gonna call you out. Get it together, ladies. You do not, under any circumstances, go under him. You never ever submit to him. Period. Point blank. Do you understand? If you do that, it's going to be very hard to get out of that position when you're not in your power. You give out commands, okay? When he comes to you, your energy needs to speak that you are the boss. The way that your energy speaks is when that man comes up to you, is he asking how to serve you? Is he asking, what is it that I can do for you? How can I help you? How can I assist you? That means you're leading. That means you're in the right space. That means you are in your feminine energy, right? If you're not, then you're the one that's asking him what you can do for him. That is not how it goes. He serves you. You don't serve him. When you serve him, he assumes now he's the boss. Now you got a problem on your hands. I warned you. You never ever, ever under any circumstances lack discipline. You run the show, not him. Never him.
Every day, it's a new thing. Now this woman is saying that men are naturally supposed to submit to women. What are you talking about, lady? Where is this even coming from? This is the problem right here. Modern women keep rewriting biology, rewriting history, and rewriting gender roles to fit whatever narrative makes them feel good in the moment. Men were never designed to submit to women. Men are leaders, protectors, and providers by nature. Women were designed to be nurturers, supporters, and to bring balance to a man's life. That doesn't mean one role is more valuable than the other. It means they complement each other. But when you flip the script and start demanding that men bow down, you destroy the natural order that keeps relationships stable. This is why so many modern relationships collapse. Because instead of partnership, women are pushing domination. Instead of respect, they're pushing control. And the crazy part is, they don't even realize that the very thing they're demanding is exactly why men are walking away. No man wants to submit to a woman who brings nothing but entitlement and attitude to the table.
Do you want to know what I think the problem is with men these days? I'll tell you. As a woman in her late 30s, I truly just don't really date anymore. I really don't. It's just not worth it because most of you men out here, and I'm not going to speak for all of you, I don't need you all in my comments saying, not me. I think most of you are just on the DL. It's okay to admit it. A lot of you are just too prideful to just admit it because let's be real, most of you don't even like women. Like, you hate us. Want to know why I've come to this conclusion? Because I've had not one, not two, not three, but 4 men in the last year or so bring up butt stuff, telling me that they would try it, telling me that they have tried it and liked it. Like, why would you bring that up if you don't? It's okay. Just be true to who you are. If you don't like women, just say that. Just my random thoughts of the day.
What are you talking about?